At Folsom Field, home of the Colorado Buffaloes football team. We are opening up Big 12 play at home here this evening as the Buffs take on the Cougars of Brigham Young University. Thank you all for tuning in today. I'm Kieran Warger.
I'm Paxton Haynes.
Colby Wyatt.
And I'm Nick Morrison.
Welcome into the stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to have these incredibly good-looking gentlemen here in the booth today. I gotta say, man, we look sharp in these suits, man. Especially you, Colby.
Yes,
we were talking about this off air. It's good stuff, man. Anyway, fellas, this is a big game here today. We're opening up Big 12 play here at home, as I said. And this is an Alamo Bowl rematch of last season where BYU took a massive dub over the Buffs, 36-14. Fellas, what are your thoughts on today's matchup?
Yeah, definitely. BYU got the best of us last time, and this time, Colorado looking to get their get back here, looking for their first time winning at home against a ranked opponent in quite some time, and looking for only their second win against the ranked opponent in the Coach Prime era period. And good one, biggest matchup of the year thus far for the Buffaloes, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, CU's looking to shock the world, really. I haven't seen anybody actually expecting CU to win this game. I think we're going to talk about why they have a chance. So I'm just excited to see how it goes down.
Yeah, no, I think this is BYU's first real big matchup of the year, as well as CU's biggest of the year. And, I do not expect Colorado to pull away with the win today, but I would not be surprised if we could see some magic happen. It's going to be a great matchup.
Say the least. Folks, we got to look at this matchup preview. We got to talk about the expectations from the quarterbacks. Obviously, looking at the Colorado side, Caden Salter had one heck of a game against Wyoming, proving himself after that tough loss to Houston. Ryan Staub was starting, and he came back and really proved that he is the man that came out of Liberty with all the hype surrounding him, fellas. So we expect him today.
Yeah, definitely. We finally saw him take them down against Wyoming. They're definitely by far his best game of the season. And finally, it looked like the Caden Salter we got from Liberty. He was using his legs, the design run play calls from Pat Shermer were working well. They were finally clicking. O-line was working well in front of him. And, overall, just kind of a complete game from Caden Salter, one that we finally got. He threw for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, just really complete game from him. And one that hopefully he can replicate here against a much better team and a much better defense.
Looking for Salter to show that he can play at least comfortably against a power school, right? I mean, Liberty, they didn't have good competition. And so, this is maybe the best defense he's ever faced. I'd have to really look into that. But, man, I just want to see that he can actually look comfortable, actually make things happen, actually coordinate sustaining drives.
Yeah, last week, Caden Salter was the first CU quarterback since 2016 to throw for over 300 passing yards and rush for over 70 yards. It was an amazing performance, and I really do expect to see some of that today. However, this is a substantially better defense than we saw at Wyoming, or in Wyoming last week. And I do expect him to show some flashes of that this week. However, it is a tough matchup. Speaking of that run game,
our run game has been improving here at Colorado's run game, I should say. So, we saw Caden Salter rush a lot last game. That's what he was known for at Liberty. He's bringing that talent here finally. Of course, it was Wyoming, so this is nothing compared to the team that they are facing today. But what do you folks look to see from the run games today, fellas?
Yeah, Caden Salter is definitely going to have to get it done with his legs today. When you're down to Kalen Taylor and Simeon Price, both out with injury, and it's just going to be Micah Welch still back there. Welch hasn't been a workhorse back all season long, and so I don't expect that to change today. I think that we're going to see a lot of design runs drawn up for Caden Salter today. He's going to have to get it done on the ground and find a way to get through this BYU tough interior that is going to stop him, and they're going to have to find some answers today. I don't expect it to be easy, but it's what the Buffaloes are going to have to do if they want to find a way to penetrate this defense and put some points on the board.
Expecting Salter to really have the most rushing yards from the team. And as you were saying, it's because of injuries, right? I don't know if Welch can really be a top running back. He hasn't shown that he can be yet. So I'm expecting most running plays to come from Salter.
Yeah, I do too. However, I do believe in Rush. He's almost averaging 5 yards per carry, which is great for a season running back. This run game has not caught a lot in all season, however, so I'm not too sure. Like I said, Kenan Salter had a great run game last.
Hurt the Buffs today, I feel like. But, I mean, we got to move on to defense here, fellas. So, what are we looking for overall?
Yeah, I'm
Actually looking at the BYU defense more than anything. I mean, they are 23rd second in all of SBS in yards allowed per game, 205.3, which is very, very, very good. They allow only 44 rushing yards per game. That's also second in FBS. It's a very, very tall task, and this Buffalo's team isn't quite the offense that we hoped it would be. They're not quite as electric as they have been in years past with the Coach Prime era. So really, it's just about how is Colorado going to find answers today? How is Salter going to get it done? We're down guys on the O-line. We're down Philip Houston now with injury. And then those two running backs, like we talked about earlier. And really just about how is Colorado gonna find answers today? Are they going to find it in the receiving core? Are they going to find it in Omarion Miller and Joseph Williams? Or are they going to have to find it with Caden Salter and his legs? I really don't know how we're going to see this offense try to find a way, but they'll have to find a way somehow.
And for me, I mean, it's kind of an electric BYU defense. I mean, just their star cornerback, Evan Johnson alone has 2 interceptions, right? So, I mean, first thing I'm thinking about is keep the ball away from him, right? I would not be shocked at all. To be honest, I'm kind of expecting Johnson to get his 3rd interception. And, another thing I actually forgot to mention about the running backs is I'm expecting Draylon Miller to get some snaps from the backfield, right, to kind of help with the injuries. And so maybe even that could kind of shake things up, kind of throw BYU off.
Yeah, BYU's averaging 2.5 takeaways per game. So obviously we're going to see a lot of rushing, just because I think Kenan Salter can be a little bit iffy through the air so far.
Your number 25 as the poll. So BYU coming in. This begs the question, I mean, does Colorado have what it takes to actually beat a top team? I mean, they're 1-14 against ranked opponents since 2021, 2 years before Coach Prime came to Boulder. And their last home win against a ranked opponent was in 2019 against their rival, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I can't talk to it, folks. So, I mean, they haven't seen a ranked win in over 6 years. I mean, the latest one being at TCU back in 2023 to start off the Coach Prime era. Can they beat BYU today here, fellas?
Yeah, say what you want about BYU being ranked, but this is a very, very good squad that is ranked in that AP poll. And, we're really going to have to see it from Colorado. Coach Prime and even the guys
Before him just don't have good history against ranked teams. But I mean, this is a new team. They kind of saw some new life against Wyoming, and if now's any time to get it done, we got Ralphie running again. This really, the momentum, you can feel a little bit. Colorado has got a little bit of momentum. They got a little bit of swing. They might be able to carry that into this game and finally take down their second-ranked opponent in the Coach Prime era since TCU.
Yeah, and to me, the biggest takeaway from the Wyoming game was the possibility that this CU team has found their identity, right? And if this team has really found their identity, if the coaches have figured out how to mesh a passing game with a running game, things like that, then, of course they have a chance to win, right? I mean, how many upsets has college football seen this year, right? Of course there's a chance, but I don't think it's that realistic of one. We'll get into kind of our score predictions way later, but yeah.
I think we're going to have to see a major step up in this run defense in order for them to really have a chance in this game. They have not been great defending this season. And on the offensive side of the ball, we are going to have to take a step up with our running backs and our running game in general. So if we can, make those two, parts of our team a lot better, we can see a lot better performances from those two parts. This game, I think it gives us a chance.
A lot is riding on the line. on this game for the Buffaloes and the Cougars. But I mean, let's look at the Cougars' schedule. I mean, this season. I mean, but this also begs the question: their schedule has been super light so far, heading in to Big 12 play. I mean, should they be ranked? I mean, you look at Auburn this past week, especially. I mean, they're undefeated, and I mean, they lost 17-24 against number 7 Oklahoma, currently holding up against Texas A&M. So, but I mean, look, Portland State, that was a massive 69-zip W. Stanford 27-3. East Carolina 34-13. Actually, that current score, the Aggies have taken down Auburn, folks, 16-10. But anyway, I mean, looking at the BYU Cougars, fellas, do they deserve to be ranked in the top in the AP poll?
I think that on their defense alone, they've kind of earned that title. I mean, like we talked about, this is a top defense in all of college football, not even just Big 12. And yeah, like the schedule thus far hasn't been that hard. There are a lot of people who said Eastern Carolina was going to be a trap game for them, that they would, head into East Carolina and get upset. But I mean, this BYU team is held tight. Bear Bachmeier, true freshman. He's, had poise thus far in the season. He's shown that, he can hang, he can play in Power 4. And I think that they have earned that spot. And we'll see it tonight if they really do deserve to be that top 25 team that they are right now.
The fact that CU is going to be the hardest team that they have faced, and CU is 2-2, so that says something. But at the same time, the BYU offense has looked how a ranked team offense should look against bad teams, right? Like, 69-0 against Portland State. Of course, it's Portland State, an FCS school. But man, the offense, as I already said, looks how it's supposed to look. It looks like it's just electric and it just rolls, and there's almost no cogs problems in the machine.
Yeah, I think tonight's really the first real test for Bear Bachmeier. But thus far into the season, he's played very well. The run game has been great, and their defense has been really amazing. So I think they do earn their place in the AP top 25. Yes, the schedule has been a cakewalk. They've all been very convincing.
Especially, I mean, Colorado obviously was ranked towards the end of the season, but we had a very light schedule, and BYU is like a similar offender this season. But fellas, we should move on to some injury updates. I know we touched on this briefly earlier in this broadcast, folks. But I mean, running back Kalen Taylor, we got Simeon Price also out, cornerback Johnson out, BYU running back Moa, he's also out today. I mean, so that BYU is not the injuries aren't as severe as Colorado's are today, obviously. But I mean, can the Buffs adapt to that? I mean, we talked about that briefly before, but I mean, overall, how are we going to overcome this, fellas?
Yeah, I mean, I look at that secondary, and that secondary is depleted right now. Most notably, RJ Johnson, who has a pick this season, he's not making the game. So really, just those depth guys in the secondary. Like, can they step up? Can a guy like Keon Parks be a game changer today? We really haven't quite seen it from that secondary this season, even from the starters. So it's really going to be a test for this Colorado secondary. They're up against some incredible guys. I mean, you look at Chase Roberts on BYU. He's got 185 yards on the season already through 3 games. This is a really good BYU offense, like we talked about, and they get to face a depleted Buffalo secondary. So really, it's just how Colorado going to adapt. They're going to have to find new ways. Guys are going to have to step up. Next man up mentality. And I mean, we'll just have to wait and see how the Colorado reserves hold up.
Looking like kind of a big problem, because even Makari Vickers, right, is out. A corner that would have gotten more playing time with Johnson being injured is also injured, right? And talking about the BYU team, BYU is a team that loves to spread the love, right? I mean, they have so many playmakers, like, on both sides of the field. Like, everybody's a threat, right? And so, man, you just need people to it's just going to be rough. I don't know how they're going to really patch that hole in the secondary. I'm excited to see if there is a solution for that. And, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you guys already touched on the secondary. It's looking good. But, what I think it takes for this game with the guys that are out at running back as I've said, he's a great team. And if he can really sustain that, I think if we give him more carries tonight, he could perform very well. And I think if you see a great performance from Michael Welch, yeah, I think too, that we look at the running back
For both these teams. In fact, no to Kalen Taylor, no Simeon Price. Michael Welch is going to have to step up. We're going to have to see Dallin Hayden get some more touches. We've been kind of waiting on him to have his game all season. We might finally see it today. Obviously, Salter's going to have to be the guy. And also on the BYU side, Sion Moa is out for BYU. He's been there behind LJ Martin, their primary running back. But, I mean, Moa had the 124 total yards on the season with a tud. So, both these teams' running back rooms especially is pretty beat up. Colorado much more beat up today than BYU is, but really just both these teams, they're not 100% at full strength. And so we're going to have to see which team is deeper, which team has the guys that know how to step up, know how to, fill into those roles. And yeah.
In college football, I mean, you're dealing with injuries. I mean, it's inevitable, obviously, but I mean, some teams may be more hurt than others, like Colorado definitely is, as you said, Paxton. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, BYU, they're hurt a little bit too, and maybe Colorado could use that to their advantage if they have to resort to their secondary, or have Caden Salter definitely get more running yards. But this is not the only game today, folks, around the Big 12. Let's go around the conference real quick. Houston, I mean, they narrowly beat Oregon State today in overtime, 27-14.
Yesterday.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Houston, Colorado obviously did not
Look great against Houston. And then Oklahoma State got pretty embarrassed by Tulsa. So in terms of what this Houston just slipping by Oregon State in overtime means, I mean, I don't know. In terms of how it looks for Colorado and how they lost to Houston, I mean, I don't know. What are you going to say? Just good for Houston, I guess, Baileys.
They finally played like how I thought they would be playing before the season started. Of course, now they're 0-4. So I don't know. It looks like they finally figured things out. But man, good on Houston for making that comeback.
Yeah, it's very bad baseball.
Affect my color here on this broadcast. But how about ASU's comeback against number 24 TCU, 27-24? Absolutely incredible. I mean, TCU, we're gonna be playing them next week. And I mean, to see them go down like that. I mean, ASU, they're not one to. They're a team that should be feared as well. I mean, they've got some guys out there for sure. But what does this mean for going into next week, fellas?
Yeah, Arizona State's a funny team. Sam Leavitt got 291 in the air today and 62 on the ground and got a touchdown. Really, Arizona State is just kind of, they're not ranked right now. They might be ranked after this game, maybe. But really just kind of like weaving through the college football scope right now. And no one really expects them to be the big powerhouse that they were last year. So not looking forward to playing them, or the Buffaloes, and not looking forward to playing TCU next week. They're going to be coming with a chip on their shoulder after losing to Arizona State. They will not be happy. They'll be coming in with some alpha blood next week.
Yeah, and we talked about next week, right? The only difference for CU is that there won't be a number next to TCU's name, right? It's still going to be the same team that has been dominant for really most of the season with an, insane passing game and whatnot. And really, for me, the big story here is ASU putting their season back on track, right? They were ranked before the season started. They lost. And this was them telling the Big 12, telling everybody, hey, we're still competing. We're still going for that Big 12 championship.
A lot of people doubted him this one this season. He hasn't been quite up to expectations. But I think most of their season back on track. Stepping out of my
34-20. I mean, UCF is a mid-tier team, I guess you would say, in the Big 12 right now, as is K-State. K-State's having a rough start to their year, folks. There's no question about that. But, I mean, this win, I mean, it's promising for for the Wildcats for sure, and especially since the Buffs have to play them final week of the regular season, Thanksgiving. So, what's this week, fellas?
Yeah, K-State's another funny team. Just absolutely abysmal start to the season, but they've kind of come back a little bit. They've kind of turned their season around. Our guy Dylan Edwards ran for 166 and a touchdown today in the win over UCF. And yeah, I mean, we'll see if Kansas State can kind of build on this momentum and have a good end of the season, and maybe get in there for some Big 12 championship talks. We'll see. Edwards
Back
back
was
was
like a
great.
huge deal for the team. But to me, this game doesn't really make waves, right? Like, I mean, I was expecting UCF to win, but I don't know. It doesn't really change the whole aspect of the Big 12 that much to me. I mean, now K State is kind of like saying, "Hey, maybe we won't be that bad this year," but this doesn't change that much for me.
State started off the season as a ranked team, and they definitely just this one. The win over UCF, like we said, is not very convincing for me. It's still better than 20 points for them. Touchdowns. I do not expect their team back on track to really show them starting, but it's definitely something.
For sure, fellas. I mean, how about Cincy today, fellas? They had that baffling win over the Jayhawks in Kansas. I mean, 37-34. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah, how about Cincinnati?
And see, that's another one that really I didn't see coming. I don't know if any of us did really, but yeah, Tawee Walker, the running back, getting there on the final drive to put them ahead. He had 2 touchdowns today, and I mean, just Big 12 action. Like really, all this to say that Big 12 is kind of wide open. I mean, you look at these teams going down. Kansas going down today, TCU going down today. Like the Big 12, everyone's kind of beating everybody, which potentially opens the door for Colorado here. If they can put together some wins, this Big 12 conference is anyone's conference.
I don't know if I would quite call it like baffling because remember, I mean, Cincy barely lost to Nebraska, right? Cincy, I think, is even better this year than they were last year, and they weren't bad last year. I mean, I did pick Kansas though, right? I really did think Kansas was going to win, but I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked when I saw Cincy really come back and make that field goal to win it.
Yeah, I was shocked when Cincy had to play against Nebraska. So I wasn't actually extremely surprised when I saw them upset Kansas. It was a very interesting win. I think part of the season in the Big 12 conference. I think it's very interesting. And yeah, like Paxton said, it's wide open for Colorado. Anything can happen. The season's not done yet. It's very
So we're going to go ahead and move into our pick'ems right now. So, I mean, obviously, Pax, I want to start with you. I mean, today's game, it's a toss-up, but you put a really interesting score down for your pick today. Tell us about that, man.
Yeah, so BYU's coming in. This is their hardest opponent they've faced all season. Bear Bachmeyer is going to be coming in. He's going to have 50,000 fans screaming at him all game long. I think that, this BYU team, they haven't faced a team as hungry as Colorado is this season. Colorado, they've seen what they're capable of against Wyoming. They know how to achieve it. They finally are playing complimentary football for the first time this season, and they got Ralphie 1-0 with Ralphie 7. And so, really, like on paper, it doesn't look good, right? They have all the, BYU's strengths are exactly Colorado's weaknesses, right? But that all being said, I think Colorado, I mean, they see it's possible. They know what to do. They know what it takes. I think Coach Prime is going to have these boys ready, have these boys playing inspired football. Give me the Colorado Buffaloes in a 30-29 upset win over BYU today.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado wins if they at least somewhat stifle the run game, make the freshman QB Bachmeyer uncomfortable, and if they have long sustaining drives, right? They do those 3 things, they win. But they're not going to do those 3 things. So I have Colorado losing 33-18.
Yeah, fellas. I mean, showers as optimistic as you, Paxton, but I mean, the injury list, it keeps on getting worse for Colorado this season. It's unfortunate. I mean, it happens, but I mean, they're a lot more banged up than the Cougars are this evening, so. And I'm going to have to be unfortunate. I have a final score 42-24 in favor of the Cougars. It's unfortunate, but I see that coming, fellas. So, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for our pregame show here at Folsom Field up here in the radio booth. We thank you so much for tuning in. Kieran Walker.
Colton Wyatt.
And you heard it here first. We will see you post-game.